Hello, my name is Abigail, and welcome to my channel about everything having to do with books. As I'm sure you all know, a protagonist can either make or break a book. A book can have an incredible plot, but if you just can't stand the protagonist, you're not going to want to read it. So for this video, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 favorite protagonists. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, comment some of your favorite protagonists or some protagonists that you just can't stand. So here we go, my top 10 favorite protagonists. First up, at number 10, we have Sophie Foster from the Keeper of the Lost City series. One of the main things that I like about her is that we get to see her grow and change throughout the books of the series. It takes place over the span of several years, and in that time, we see her transform from a shy little girl into a brave young woman. Number 9 is Frodo Baggins from The Lord of the Rings. One of the main things that I really love about Frodo is that he proves kind of one of the main points of the book, which is that you don't have to be big or strong or important to make a difference. Frodo was just an ordinary hobbit who gets kind of thrown into this whole quest, and he ends up saving the world. Number 8 is Cinder from the Lunar Chronicles. And one thing that strikes me about her is how unique you see she is from the beginning. Like, for example, her job is a mechanic, which isn't really a job that you see a lot in the book, especially with a female protagonist. So I was drawn in right away to that, and I thought it was really interesting. And Cinder is just a really sarcastic and funny character, and it's really fun to read from her perspective. Number 7 on this list is Matilda Wormwood from Matilda. This was one of my favorite books when I was younger, and I think it's because the protagonist really stuck with me. I loved seeing this smart little girl outsmart all the adults who were ruining her life, and I just really loved reading about a character who was smart but wasn't cocky about it. Number 6 is Lenny Muldoon from the Mysterious Benedict Society. One of the things that make him a really interesting character to read about is the number of riddles and clues that he is faced with throughout the course of the books. And I just love seeing his thought process and working them out and how that even grows and changes throughout the multiple books. He's a really interesting character to read about because of the way he thinks, making his perspective a very unique one. Coming in at number 5, we have Will Treaty from the Ranger's Apprentice series. One of the things that I really like about Will, which is kind of unique, is the way his personality clashes with his job. Will's a ranger apprentice, and rangers are known for being dark and mysterious types of figures, but Will is just really friendly and outgoing. So there's a lot of times when he wants to go over and talk to someone or meet someone, but has to remember to keep up the ranger facade. And I just think that's a really interesting take to put on a character. It makes it a lot really interesting to read about, and which is one of the main reasons that I like Will. Number 4 on the list is Jane Eyre from Jane Eyre. One of the things that I really like about her is that even though she's the center of a novel that can get pretty dark at times, she doesn't give in, she stays strong throughout it, and holds to a strong moral compass despite all of the hardships that she's faced in her life. I think that's a really great person for the readers to be reading about, that even though she's gone through so much, she still manages to stay true to who she is. For number 3, we have Percy Jackson from Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The plot of this book series is already good enough on its own, but the protagonist just adds an extra layer of enjoyability to the books. Percy Jackson is such an incredible narrator. He has sarcastic, snide comments about everything, and he's just really enjoyable to read. I saw something that said I would learn so much if Percy Jackson narrated a history textbook, and I completely agree. Number 2 on my list probably won't come as much of a surprise, Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games series. One of the things that I really like about Katniss is that even though she's obviously a really brave, really strong character, she's also realistic. She doesn't try to do everything for herself all the time, and she gets broken, she cries, she has really realistic emotions, and I just think that's a really important thing to show in books. And Katniss exhibits this really well, and this is why I think that she's such a great protagonist. And lastly, for my favorite protagonist, we have Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. I just love everything about Elizabeth. I love the way she changes over the course of the novel and how relatable she is, even though this novel was written over 200 years ago. I just really like reading about someone who was a lot like me, even living back then, even though she wasn't real. She just feels so much like a real character, and I think that's the main reason why she's my favorite protagonist. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said in the intro, comment your favorite protagonist or a protagonist you just really don't like, and I will see you in the next video. And now, to close us out, we have the bookish quote of the day. A book is a gift you can open again and again, by Garrison Keillor.